גדל והתקדש שמי רבה מעריב להניח מחותי צבח וכנראה קרב משיחי היכונו ומכונו בחי לכל בית ישראל בגליו ומנחה בימו אמן יברך וישתבח ויתפאר ותאמר מתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתעלה את שמי נקודשה לא יקום נהנה מכל ברכתה ושירתה תשבחתה ונחמתה אמירת בעלמם בימו אמן יש נמה רבה בן שמעיה וחיים טובים עלינו ועל כל ישראל בימו אמן עושה שלום בימו מעברי עושה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל בימו אמן עתירה מביטו שעד חיים בצבו ולא יקום כי מערב ואני יכול אני עשיתי אני עזר אני כל במלא הצדיקים ומשמעת גדל והתקדש שמי רבה נעמד יברך לראותי ועמך מחותי צמח וכנראה קרב משיחי היכונו והם יכונו בחי לכל בית ישראל בגליו בזמן קריב עמו אמן יברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתאמר וינשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתעלה שמי לקודשה בריחו אלא מכל ברכתה ושירתה תשבחתה ונחמתה דמיון ועלמם ועמו אמן על ישראל ועל הבנן ועל תלמידי הון ועל כל תלמידי תלמידי הון ועל כל מאן דעסקין בו יתעדים ויתרא דין ודין בכל אתר ואתר יהא לנו נכון שלמה רבה אחינו וחידה רחמים לך הנה רכינו מזונה רווחה ופוקנה מן קדם אבון דמשמעיה ואמרו אמן יש שלמה רבה משמעיה וחיים טובים עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו אמן זה שלום עמו מעברי אז שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו אמן
Yashua Chaya. That is a good question. Why is there no Tachnon? I mean, why is there Tachnon? Sorry. So the way the laws follow is of so there's three lengths we have of Sheva Brachas. We have Sheva Brachas on someone who's getting married in general. I'm saying in general, someone who's getting married for the first time. We have Sheva Brachas. We have Sheva Brachas for someone who's getting married, who are both of them a second marriage. And then there's the Sheva Brachas for someone who's getting married to the same person they were married to before. Three different levels of joy within halacha. So if any of the couple getting married is their first marriage, then it's a week, Sheva Brachas. If both of them are the second marriage, mean they're done that, it's 3 days. If it's, you have something called matzah, someone gets divorced. After someone gets divorced, and after they get divorced, they decide, you know what, they're going to get remarried again. It happens. So they have to do a wedding over. They have to have a chuppah. They have to have a new ketubah. The old ketubah is garbage. To redo the ketubah, you have to redo everything. You do the wedding. But you don't have 7 days of Shabbat. It's only 1 day. No. Get a point. Basically saying we won't get to it. So I asked regarding Sheva Brachas. You're right. I hear what you're saying. I asked regarding Sheva Brachas. And the rule is like this. Let's say we had the wedding before. Let's say a couple before Shkir, yesterday, before sundown. You're right. You have a point. Too late now. But if you have Sheva Brachas before sundown, right? So then that night to kneel, there will be no Sheva Brachas. But within the same SS.
But even in this case, but if second manager or the same person, they already had Sheva Brachas, but he never had Sheva Brachas.
You have a point. But the Sheva Brachas is, there's no obligation to have Sheva Brachas. It's something we grab the opportunity to have Sheva Brachas. In the world, in Chabad we make a big point of it. Of every day having Sheva Brachas. In the world, no. There's people we do Sheva Brachas. No people, there's nobody around we don't show. You need a minion. No minion, forget it. Whatever. No big deal. It's the week of Sheva Brachas, but we don't do Sheva Brachas. We do, I'm saying, in the world. Most people aren't so careful about it.
You must understand.
So why is it up? So why do we have to week for 7 days? It's because the simcha is so big. In general, when don't we say tachnun? Only when there's such a big simcha that takes away the need for tachnun. So the way Shulchan Aruch tells us the world is, again, maybe everybody's different, but the way Shulchan Aruch tells us, the way the world is, someone's going to imagine the first time there's a certain level of excitement. The second time, not so big anymore. It's true, but he knows his wife already for a very long time, and it's a different. I'm not the one choosing. I'm not making up the rules. It's not my going away what it says. All right, today Jewish history. Tonight's learning is Ili Nishmas.
Shmuel, then Mordechai Tzvi Alevi.
Shmuel Mordechai Tzvi Alevi. Is that who Shmuel is named after?
Yes.
That means that there's a l'chaim tonight after davening, and tomorrow morning is also going to be.
Yeah.
Hashem Retzach. Huh? Tomorrow evening? All right. Today, we completed the Mishkan. The Mishkan in the desert was completed today. And now we start for the next 7 days. We're going to have every day, they're going to practice. They're going to practice. They're going to set up the Mishkan, take it down. They're going to be practice for a whole 7 days. Shivas Miluim. And then we're going to have Vayoyim Hashmini. It's going to be next week. You have the 8th day where it starts for real. And then every day there was another Nasi. There was another Shevet, another one of the tribes, another one of the Shvatim, another one of the right? Would celebrate. Every day was another celebration of another Nasi. And thus we're going to start. We're going to read every day. We read the Nasi of that day, of whoever's Nasi that was that day. But that starts after 7 days of practice. So today's the day we completed the building, construction, and then we start. So now we start 7 days of practice, and then starts for real, and then it's going to be 12 days of each day another Shevet by himself. So there's a name, a famous name a lot of people have, Itcha Meir, Yitzchak Meir. You have an Enikel, you have a grandson, his grandson, Yitzchak Meir. It's a name, you'll hear it around. The name Yitzchak Meir is from the first Ger Rebbe known as the Chidushei Harim. First Ger Rebbe passed away in 1866. Ger is one of the biggest, the largest Hasidic communities today. I think after Chabad and Satmar, I think is Ger probably. It's probably one of the biggest. Well, Vishnitz and Belz are also pretty big. Babov also, but they're from the big leagues. There's some big leagues. Anyway, today's the yard site of the Chidushei Harim. The Yitzchak Meir, the first, Itcha Meir, the first, is a Shamash Shav and Aliyah. And today is also the yard site of a classmate of a lot of my classmates. He was my class over top of me, but in English he was in my classmates, and then I was a class below. So, Ari Halberstam, who was gunned down on the Brooklyn Bridge, I think his murder was Rashid Baz, Yamach Shemoy. Today's Ari's yard site is a Shamash Shav and Aliyah. Today and tonight is tonight on the 24th of Adar is officially the day that in Russia in 1817 they said Tsar Alexander I declared that there's no more blood Bibles. It's still only blood Bibles. Jews don't use blood in the matzah. It's a baloney story. But just about 100 years later, there was the Mendel Bayless case. So on Russia, huh? Anyway. And this Shabbos is the yard site. It's the birthday of the Rebbe Chaim Moshka's birthday. This Shabbos.
Russian Empire.
Yeah.
Muscovy. That's a new name, Muscovy, right?
All right. So Mendel pointed out to me that the new Alter Rebbe Shulchan Aruch is now online. So we learn the laws of Pesach. There's no Alter Rebbe Shulchan Aruch. We don't have it here, but we have it online. Shkoyach Mendel. Where? No, yeah, but it's not the new. The new one, the new edition. No, that's a new-ish
White.
one.
It's
No,
white.
the new one's white. The latest. Yeah. No, the Hebrew is the same. The words are the same. That's a whole new explanations and everything. So we'll learn it now for Pesach. We learned a little bit. We're coming to Pesach. We'll learn. All right. So the laws of Pesach start. Moshe Rabbeinu was Misakin, established. The Gemara tells us that the Yidden every single city they should learn before every Yom Tov, the laws of that Yom Tov. And so, the example the Gemara gives, they should learn about Pesach before Pesach. Oh, how far in are you?
It's already by the Seder. No. It's by Dayanim.
Okay. All right. Searching for chametz. Although a person does not, although the prohibition of having chametz, meaning according to the Torah, is from the night of the 15th, meaning the Seder night. Nevertheless, meaning when the Torah says "Lo yirav lo yimatzu," it shouldn't be seen, it shouldn't be found. Meaning you shouldn't own it. Pesach, we're not allowed to own chametz, right? And it shouldn't be seen in our vicinity, even if we don't own it. In other words, we're going to sell the chametz, right?
But if you were before.
So it's gonna be before, right? I'm saying we're gonna sell the chametz, but even though we sell the chametz, so we can have it on the table, it's sold. Put a sign it's sold. No, it has to be, you gotta put it away. Put it in the closet. Sold, put it away. So even though that prohibition is really only from the 15th at night, according to the Torah. Nevertheless, we already don't eat or the same matzah already from midday. What's considered midday? So midday meaning on the 14th, meaning Erev Pesach midday. That's when what's considered midday. So we take the time it gets light in the morning. We take the hour it gets dark at night, and we go right in the middle. So, for example, this year, hang on, I'll tell you exactly what time it's going to be. If you go to chabad.org/zamanin, you will see the exact times. So, for example, today, again, just go today midday. Today midday is 1:28. So, from 1:28, you wouldn't allow it. Nevertheless, so that is. 1 second. Here we go. Yeah, so by midday, we have to already get rid of it. And therefore, we start the burning of the chametz an hour before midday. And by midday, it already has to be complete. It has to be, huh?
Before.
No, you start eating 2 hours before Chatzor, and you start burning, you finish burning 1 hour before.
Not 4 hours, no. No.
Everyone.
You could already start earlier, but the proper time, beer, is only that hour, that 1 hour we do. That's when everybody makes the fires. Someone's traveling. 1 hour before midday. Has to be finished by then.
You can have a big fire here.
We usually do.
Oh,
last year was pouring, right?
Most important.
Last year we did it in the sukkah. It was pouring rain.
Yeah. Okay, don't say Shiva from the Geshem before.
Yeah. Yeah. So now, why is this? Why do we have it before? So the pasuk says, "L'sishchat al chametz dam zivchi." You should not shech the carbon pesach while there's chametz. And since the time of shechita, since the time to shech the chametz is from chatzai, is from midday, therefore we're ready. We're never gonna have to not have chametz from midday. In other words, so the chametz is already burnt, completely done. We're not even supposed to burn it.
no,
He's saying we have an asmachta min Torah. That's the asmachta. Where do we learn it from the Torah? Why is it that even though the Torah tells us that you're not allowed to see chametz from the 15th at night, nevertheless, we also have another passage that tells us Leisishchat al chametz dam simchi. You shouldn't shech the carbon pesach. Wow, there's chametz there.
He's saying it's the right time for me.
It's not. Not many things we have in Torah. We have an asmachta min Torah. We learn it from the Torah. Is it considered the Rabbanon?
What?
From I think it's considered the Rabbanon. We have a pasuk learn. I think it's considered the Rabbanon. No, any asmachta Rabbanon don't make things up. The Rabbanon say things, but it's based on a pasuk. But it's based on a pasuk. The Chachamim tell us they don't just say things. There's a reason for each thing they're saying. It's more than a gadol. Yes, absolutely. An hour before you could say it's a gadol, right? Because you can't just stopping an hour before. That's a fence, right? Gadol is a fence. Saying the fence is stopping an hour before, but By midday, we learn from a pasuk. The beauty about the Rebbe Shulchan Aruch, the Rebbe brings, he'll bring everything. It's not just to say halacha. He'll say why the halacha is. Where in the Torah we're getting it from.
Not direct. It's like the fast and Tishba. Not the direct. There's nothing
It's true.
All right. מעריב, page 118. Who wants to be Chav? Gabi, you want to be Chav? Huh? All right, a little bit. The Pesach is going for that one. Page 118, go to
sport it, it's about sport. We see the house is there, so it's all what it goes to every.
Amen.
Hey, love the house, love you, show us to show us, and the Hamas, you know, be all love you.
Amen.
Ska that straight out about what about Cruise via Marcus via South Africa come she very I don't make find the high the whole base show about all my car you may يهيش في العمارة لا الله عمر ما يسمر تبع تسمر سيم ناسي تدرس خلاص بدك تشوف لي إذا ما كان خاص هذا الشيء لا ستشوف خاص نحن خاص هذا في الأول في رامي سكابت سلويس نويس نخلي ساق قالوا نشمع في رامي إيش نبرابن شمايا هاي تبغى نقول سوي في رامي شامي ما في شامي ما في إسرائيل إيش اللي هذا كول Ja, oké, gaan we nog even. Je mag rustig aan hier om ja te moeten begrijpen. Ik ga koos. We horen je aan de gehoord. Zo je moet je aan de gehoord. Dus je moet je gehoord.
In honor of the Eloi Nishmas, his namesake, and Shmuel is maybe going to honor us with a few words about his grandfather. Oh, great uncle. Great uncle, okay. Great uncle.